If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, it's combustion leak test fluid. Why am I doing this? Because if you guys remember, I think it was like 2 vlogs ago or something like that, me and my buddy ended up doing a drain and fill on the coolant on this car, and there were still a little bit small bubbles coming up, very, very small, and a lot of times that's an indication of a head gasket issue. And then after that, when the car gets warm, here and there I've noticed like I can smell coolant. So there was a concern that potentially there's a head gasket issue here. But supposedly this test, if this fluid turned yellow, would have indicated that there is a head gasket issue. But because it retained its color, which is blue, there is no issue. So I'm lucky. And of course, the reason we're doing all this is because in about 3 days or whatever it is, I have a track day. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't about to blow up my car while on the track. So we're good on that. No head gasket issue. That's good. Next step is to do an oil change and do the front brakes for pads and rotors. So got to do that next. According to this, there's no oil. But my check engine light's not coming on. So how is that possible? Or not check engine light, but my oil light is not coming on. But this is at the low mark. So it's definitely burning oil still. So there's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this liquid moly engine flush to help the engine out, since this is a direct injected engine. It's going to have a lot of buildup. Due to that, I want to run this. Everybody, I've checked a lot online, and everybody shows that this works really well in helping clean out the engine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. But I can't say before the oil change, let engine run on idle speed for 10 minutes. Change oil filter and refill with fresh oil. Minimum oil filling of 3 liters is requested for optimum. So do I pour this whole thing in there? So you're going to get the car at running temperature. You are going to use this whole can. And then you're going to run it for 10 minutes. Alright, so that's a little hot. Before I try to pull that drain plug out, I'm just going to let the engine cool. But I do have to do the brakes, as I mentioned, so I'll get to that next. Kidding me? So I guess this isn't just getting ready for the track day. I guess there's a little update. You know, calipers are barely lasting. Looks like these rubber gaskets here for the pistons are gonna need replacing, at least on this side. Supposedly I got high performance ones, but looks like they can only accept so much high performance. So there is that. Those pins got stuck. I had to use a vice grip, right? Is that what it's called? Vice grip? Whatever, vice pliers. Put it on the actual middle of the pin, turn it quite a bit to get it loosened up, and then I was able to tap it out, fully seized in there. I guess not fully, I was still able to, this one I was able to get out, but because the other one I damaged so much on the sticker part, I actually had to cut out, tap it out enough, cut it out, and then bring it out the other way. So it is what it is. That's just how this is going. But I guess a little update on the brakes. I'll show you guys the old rotors. As for the rotors, it doesn't say if one's left or one's right. It doesn't have a direction from what I can tell. I'm just gonna double check that real quick as I say that. Yeah, I'm not seeing a direction arrow, so it looks like these are non-directional, so you can have the slots going either way. The vents on the inside are straight, so which means overall they should work either way from what I can tell. However, I did, the last ones, I did have the slots going the opposite direction, so I guess that's what we'll do. There's, down here at the bottom, there's a dip. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a small dip here at the bottom, so it's not crazy big. It's not a huge difference between this surface and down here, but it's there. And as you can see, the rotor wore. I mean, that's not bad considering I just pretty much beat the crap out of it on a track day, on an autocross, and spirited driving on the road, so not too bad. Picked up this new tool to help me clean around the studs so there's no rust. Just put it over, run it, and then you can use it to kind of get the stuff that's not on the stud. But not too bad. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put some anti-seize on there, and I think I'm going to get the other rotor, just have the slots facing the way I already had them going, so that way, just in case maybe I don't remember it right and they were directional, this way it's set up right. I'm talking to a buddy of mine. Well, you guys know Sid from MXPI Tuning. I'm talking to him to see if he can overnight me some pins for the Brembos, so that way we're ready to go. The rotors are same as the last ones. They're R1 Contaps rotors. This is their more high performance ones. I went slotted, not drilled. I don't like drilled. And then for the pads, we're going with the EBC Blues on this one. I got these on Amazon. The blues are supposedly better than their yellows. Looks like they also have an orange series. It says longest lasting pad formulation in EBC range for ultra fast street or full race use. Good brake effect for cold and highest heat threshold. For the blue ones, it says longest lasting high friction aramid pad for ultra fast street use and track day and race use on sport compacts and muscle cars. Good brake effect from cold. So I'm going to try these out. I had the yellows, they did all right. I tried Hawks HP Plus, I think, or something like that. I can't remember which ones. They shattered a lot. They didn't resist the heat good enough, so I'm trying these to see if these work any better. The yellows were all right. They did also not resist the heat that well after a few laps of hard going. But for a 20-minute session, I want to go as much as possible. So I'm going to try these blue ones out. I'm sure they're going to be dustier and noisier, but I really don't care as long as they last and can resist the heat. Now, obviously, better cooling. If I ran like some kind of ventilation from the front through the fender liner, it would be significantly better in helping that, but once again, this is just a daily. I'm not gonna go that crazy with this. I'm just using this car now for some track day stuff until I get the car I want for racing / track days. I was asked for when the turbo's coming. It's going to be a while, unless somebody gives me $5,000. It's going to be a minute, but all good. I'm enjoying the car as it is, and in a video coming up, we're going to be also doing a rear brake upgrade as well for the big brakes. I think I mentioned that in one of the videos already, but that is what is happening for now. Actually, on the part number there is a L, so I'm guessing L stands for left. Let me see if this other one has something that says right. It sure does. So this actually would be the driver's side, so it does go like this. So the slots, so I was right. I was wrong the last time around. Looks like these are somewhat directional. Before I put any kind of grease on it, I just want to make sure these fit, because you just never know. Looks like they do. Just giving me a little bit of problem, but should be all right. Now hopefully I'll have the big brake kit installed before the track day in a few days. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, I think. I got a UPS notification saying they'll be here in the day. So I am excited for that. Hopefully we'll notice some kind of braking difference. Now people normally, everybody has their thing. A lot of people don't put grease on the pad side, or I'm sorry, not on the braking side, but on the back of the pad. I do, just because honestly, I've always been told to do it, usually on the single piston calipers, but I figure it wouldn't hurt to do it on here either. I was gonna go with a Wix filter, but O'Reilly's was completely out, so I'm using this Honda Genuine filter that they had. They were out of Mobile One, they were out of K&N and Wix. So I'm just going with a stock one from Honda. I'll leave links to some of these tools that I'm using in the description, but I found this one. I was pretty excited. If you ever use the coolant one, where pretty much it allows you to put a bottle on top and let the coolant fill without worrying about spillage, this does the same thing. So you have all your different adapters for different cars, and then and they're actually marked, so I'm just taking a look here. Here we go. So this technically should fit. Let's see. There it is. So you do that, you put this in there, and then you fill your oil. I love it. I don't have the Ultra with me, unfortunately, so I had a bottle left over of the it's full synthetic, and it's the platinum, but it's not the Ultra, which is supposed to be the better performance. Oh, I love it. First of all, it's just going right in, which is awesome. I mean, that's just, yeah, if I can recommend stuff, that's one of them. Don't get me wrong, a regular funnel that I was using works fine, but this is, you can't beat this. like everybody says, you want to go ahead and undo the fill before you do the drain. I've said that in the how-to video that I did on this. Because if you undo the drain and then you can't do the fill, you're screwed. I am using Honda genuine transmission fluid because everybody, and I mean everybody that works on Honda, says to do so. And I'm not gonna, at this current moment in my life, I'm not gonna experiment otherwise. So there it is. We're gonna be using this. And you do need 2 quarts. I think it's like 1.6, but I put in the full 2 and it's been perfectly fine, no issues at all. As for, is there a like a dipstick or something where you can check the level of it? I haven't seen one, so no. But like I said, 2 of these and you're set. I've done 2 every time. I've had 0 issues. Just make sure it's fully drained. Why am I changing the fluid? As I mentioned, track day. I change my fluid before any time I do a track day, just because the track days are going to be rough. And you know, because they're going to be rough, I'd rather be safe than sorry. With new fluid in there, everything should be pretty good. Now that that's filled, got to put this back in, and this is all set. Here we go, almost done. The hook, the pins are right, but those aren't. Luckily, I have the old ones. So we'll just use the old ones. The old ones are fine. But yeah, whatever these are, those weren't right. But the pins will work, and that's all that matters. If I did this right. I'm going to go ahead and clean these off a little bit. It doesn't really matter, but I'm like that. These aren't sitting right. These pins aren't right. Damn it. Well, we'll see what we can do, because right now this is a problem. So this, obviously, the ones that came with this kit, too small, and the bars in between don't sit this properly on there. So let's find out what's... Okay, new day. Do we fail again is the question. Do we actually get the right ones this time? They look right. I checked them when I picked them up. They are bigger. They seem to match that. So that's good. Let's get these brakes done so I can go and start breaking them in. I won't lie, the break-in process for the EBC pads is kind of ridiculous. They want you to drive first 100, 200 miles very gently. Then you increase it for next like 300 miles, and then you do aggressive braking. We don't have that much time to break these in, so I'm gonna go ahead and drive today and tomorrow quite a bit to get that first gentle miles in for the first 100, and then I'm just gonna do the aggressive braking to finish the bed-in process. Not ideal, but right now it's what I got to work with. So it's what we're gonna do. Okay, put a little grease on that end. I'll wipe it down, not a problem. You know, it's one of those things. Things just don't always go the way you want them to. This took way too long. If you're thinking to yourself, God, he's damaging the back of those calipers. Yeah, probably. You know what? Right now, kind of over this whole issue. So just happy to have them back in, and they're good to go. Oh yeah, we're good. Gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together so we can start and getting this on the road. And then after that, we're going to talk about what it takes to, what I do to get ready for a track day and what I bring with me. So standard Craftsman kit. Let's hope nothing falls apart. I got a bunch of, obviously, full socket set. You got your quarter, you got your half, your 3/4, and your 1/4 inch ratchets, deep sockets and short sockets, a few wrenches, and I added some other things in here, like I got some pliers, some cutters, adjustable wrench, some extra socket, a little breaker bar. I got a magnet. Did I put the magnet in here? Should be in here. Could have sworn it was somewhere in here. But regardless, I got a few extra things, but this is just basically something I always carry around. I know it's weight in my trunk, but it's something I always have just in case something happens. And also bigger torque wrench. So there's two sizes. You can get the smaller one and the bigger one, inch pounds and foot pounds. This is the foot pound ones. I always carry this one just for the basics. You can carry the smaller one too if you feel like it. And then I got this big old bag, Ryobi bag that I got with a tool set, and it's got a bunch of stuff in here. I mean, you got jumper cables, tape measure, you got working gloves, chucks. I got towels. These are my impacts for the wheels, so it's got that extra protection to not scuff up the wheels. I don't know how good it works really, but and I have also my impact to get things in and out faster, or it's a Ryobi one. It's not the new H Plus I think that they have that's brushless, but it still does the job. And my favorite tool is this air compressor from Ryobi. Once again, uses Ryobi batteries. It's got the tire inflator and then air mattress. You know, one day when maybe I have a what's it called, enclosed trailer where I can sleep, I'll use that. But this is the best. Tire inflator on the go. When you go to a track day, you're going to deflate your tires because you don't want them at max temperature that you would use on the, or max pressure that you would use on the road. You actually want to lower them down. I always lower them down to about 28 psi, and then obviously once the track day is over, or whatever event you're at, if it's an autocross or a track day, then you want to go ahead and air them up to the 32 that's recommended. So that's always handy. It just eliminates the need for a big old air compressor or even a portable one. It's just much easier to carry around. The stuff doesn't fit perfectly, you gotta kind of mess with it, as you can see, but it does the job. It carries the stuff. And do I drive with this stuff all the time? I do. I'm a weird person. I like to be precautious, and this way if something happens to me on the road, everything's there. But that is the stuff that I normally bring with to the track as well. It's just something, you know, it's a good set of tools to have just in case something does happen on the track. Of course, I do have my helmet. This is a SA 2015 HJC helmet. I am hoping to one day get a Bridge Moto one. I have shoes. You guys saw me at autocross. I was wearing those. And I have gloves, and I have a suit, a Bridge Moto suit that I just got that I will wear at the track day because they require you to have pants on. And originally we got communicated saying that we also need long sleeve shirts, and at that point I was like, well, I'm just going to get a suit. So I picked up a Bridge Moto suit. Then later on to find out we don't need the long sleeve shirts, but I'm still going to wear the suit just to get used to it. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing a suit in a Honda Accord, it's just to get used to it for future. But so that's like the basic stuff I carry, and then we have a few more other things. A few other things that I bring with me. I got a new canopy. It's a 10x10 canopy, straight leg. I picked up this new sheet that's for the side to block out the sun from whichever side it's coming from.
I got 2 sets of chairs, very nice. They got a little tray, some pockets in them. I picked all this up from Harbor Freight. No sponsorship or anything here, just letting you guys know. I do bring also a jack and jack stands. I just got these jack stands right here. These are aluminum. Those are the Durlast steel ones. These are the Pittsburgh aluminum from Harbor Freight. And it's crazy how light they are. And I just used them for this brake or all this maintenance I just did to get ready for the track day. And they work great. I heard no weird noises, nothing. They held up with 0 issues that I can tell. So great. If you're wondering what this is to protect the pinch weld. It's just a rubber plastic that sits on top of the jack stand, so that way it's not metal to metal content, it's plastic to metal. I'll let you guys know if that actually helps. It's my first time using it, but that's what it's supposed to be for. So I bring jack stands, usually 4 of them, and I bring a jack, not this particular jack. This is a steel one, so it's very heavy. I do have an aluminum 3-ton one that I bring with me, and that's a lot lighter. It's about half the weight. These are about like 100 pounds. The aluminum are like 50. So I bring the aluminum one just because it's a lot lighter. Although this technically would be more ideal because it's got the longer reach. So if you have a low car, it'll allow you to reach under there easier and stuff like that. But it's really heavy, so I tend to not want to carry it. I also bring this toolbox, which carries a lot of random accessories. Oh, by the way, the Ryobi bag that I showed you guys, that also has chucks in it, so don't worry about that. You do want chucks just in case, but you know, wire splitters, more pliers, some trim removal stuff. You never know what you might need. What are they called? Splicers or whatever. Multimeter, battery tester. Let's see, what else do I have? I got a knife just in case we need to cut something. What's most important, like the top here isn't as important as this is. This is the more important stuff. So I got extra brake lines just in case mine fail for some weird reason, which has happened to me. But the stop techs haven't. It's the old, I think it's like BF, no, not, BF Good, no, is it BF Goodrich? I don't know, one of those companies that's like that failed on me, so now I just have extras, brake lube, anti-seize, big hammer, and then a rubber hammer, just in case you gotta hammer some stuff out. Brake caliper, piston, compressor, you guys saw me use this a little bit ago. A few additional wrenches here that have the ratcheting on it, and hose clamps just in case we got to deal with hose, extra brake fluid, and bits for like a impact driver and a manual impact driver just in case something is stuck and it requires it. So it's just stuff that I carry just in case. You never know. It's just being precautious enough to the point where if something does happen where it's bad enough, you should be pretty much covered. I know it's a lot to carry, but in my opinion, it's worth it. It's better than being stuck at a racetrack because you can't fix your own problem, or having to get a tow. So, or even not being able to get it on a tow because you can't fix a problem. So that's pretty much everything I bring. I might add in like I mentioned, I think it's called a impact wrench, or not wrench, but impact driver that I have from Ryobi. So I might bring that in, or in the drill. Those might be additional things that I decide to bring with me. And also, just in case I don't want to do manual work, I bring this automatic ratchet. So those are the main stuff, and of course plenty of water, cooler with water, drinks, because it's going to be hot, and that's why you also want that canopy, because it will be hot no matter if it's just for a day. You want to have that because the sun's going to kill you. All right, this is the end to this vlog. It's clearly a different day. we're on our way to the racetrack. I just want to give you guys an outro real quick. Not my usual outro. Normally we go for a ride. We're going to the racetrack, so look out for that video. Just want to let you guys know the front brakes are doing great. Since the front brakes are the Brembo makeshift brakes from the Genesis, you need to use hub rings to center the rotor. Well, when you use hub rings to center the rotor, that hub ring gets in the way of a hub ring on the wheel, because usually you want to run hub rings for the wheels to make sure the wheel's centered onto the hub. Well, because it gets in the way, the wheel then doesn't sit flush against the rotor. So what I did is on the front, I made sure not to use the hub ring for the wheel and just allow the lug nuts to center the wheel, which has been working great because now I have no wobble coming from my wheels before I did, which means the wheel wasn't sitting well against the rotor. So everything's good now. I'm on the way to track. I got 40 miles already on the brakes with mild driving. By the time we get to the track, I'll bed them in with the aggressive bed in, and we'll go have some fun. Make sure to check out the video. See you guys in the next one.